Hello everyone, my name is Spectremal, and today we are talking about the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack from The Sims 4. I figured, I was watching the trailer yesterday and I was like, okay, I need to make a video about this, even though I already had like content scheduled for this Sunday. I figured, okay, let's, just look at what we're getting, all right? Let's follow the news a little bit, right? So, yeah, I've been taking a gander for you guys at the patch notes so that you don't really have to. Or patch notes is not really the thing. It's a little more of a feature list. And I figured let us take a good look at things, right? Just a little bit of chill, honestly. A little bit different than our normal Speed Build Sunday content, if you like. So, here already we see the first picture, and I am, stunned by a few things that I'm unhappy about, a few other things. The things that I do really enjoy in this picture already are just the whole body art that we are looking at, the customization options for our Sims, the way that the fairies look. They really look like people instead of like just wisps or like, a little bit of fireballs or something. No, they're literally little Sims instead of, just bulbs of light. We of course talk about the gnomes that are amazing, and the body art, right? The way that you can paint your wings is one of the features that I understand are coming in this what I get from the trailer. I couldn't find it in this particular in this feature list so much. However, I think you can paint your wings, and you can also get like glowing tattoos, and that's just, it's so good. It's a lot, and I'm hoping that it really is more than what we're seeing right now. I'm hoping that it's, of course, offers a lot of customization options. But yeah, I think I'm very happy with those options. Things that I'm a little less happy with are, if you look at the background of the people here, I'm not too happy about the textures from the from some of the debug stuff. I'm not really too happy with you see the window on the left here on the background, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's beautiful, it's a beautiful window. What I'm afraid of is that swatch, or like I have to like if I change the swatch, that the colors of like the vines or something like change, or like the flowers or anything else just changes with it, and then I can never have those flowers on a different sort of wood, and it kind of, basically that's what I'm scared of. However, those are like the two major points that I have. Like it feels like they really worked on character in terms of how beautiful it can be, and then I feel like it's just a little low quality in terms of the leaves and the pictures, and that's pretty daunting for a pack that's like completely about nature. So that's my first 2 cents. Now let's head into the next thing. I've prepared a few tasks for you guys. So we of course have the whole like fairy pass thing. So they're talking about like different fairy paths, 2 different fairy paths, where you can become like a harmonious fairy, who like helps people and like trying to make people find their health and balance. And then you have the discordant fairies, who are like mischief makers, and they like to just create chaos for every single one around them, basically. And I feel like it's a beautiful thing. It takes me back. I feel like they're like reusing the whole data, or how is it called again? The expansion pack about living and dying. And I feel like they're reusing that sort of idea for the ghost, right? Where you can like have like these abilities that is like, oh, are you a bad ghost, or are you a good ghost, to like help the people around you, or like make their life a living mystery, or a living hell, not a mystery. So those are things, and with that, I was like looking at things, and I saw like, okay, they have like abilities that they can develop about nurturing plants and object manipulation. Like I'm like, oh man, okay, so does this mean we get like a sort of a skill tree? Is it like also like in a way like the spellcasters, or is it really more like the ghost? I'm really wondering what that will be. I'm hoping it's a little bit more spellcastery than it is like the ghost, but I feel like it's both very viable and it could be very nice. I'm also seeing like okay, they do not eat. You know, they don't eat anything normal. They are actually like just living of emotions. And this is something very interesting to me. Like where you have these good, where you can talk about like creating balance and then of course eat those positive emotions and feel better about it, I guess. And then of course you have those fairies that are like mischievous and make your life a living hell, and they will just gobble on that anger, you know, the irritation. They wanna feel that. So for sure something that I definitely want to explore. They talk here about, once again, about a few things. I'm gonna talk a little bit like more about this section than the rest. It's all a lot in this section. So one of this, they are talking about like the customizability. So you can make a great amount of wings. You can use those. You have new skin tones. We have new ears, teeth, and like head accessories, and we have glowing tattoos. I love that that's a thing now. I'm hoping, of course, that, you know, with the businesses and hobbies, we can maybe use those things for like in businesses, that you can actually like create them as well, like with a custom tattoo tool and stuff. That would be amazing. I'm hoping that works out. And I even saw that they have like a different woohoo. Like, wait, where it is? Yeah, here. They have a special woohoo. Fairies can even use their fairy charm to deliver a special woohoo. So you know, people are gonna be excited about that. I'm sure. Luckily, this is not entirely just about fairies. Of course, you know, I mean, but it's a really more than just fairies, and I feel like it's a little bit of a trend. I think, you know, we got like, of course, a lot of the occult things. We got them in like, I think game packs is what they're called, where we just had like vampires and like werewolves and what else did we have? You know, spellcasters who are more of a game pack. We didn't really like a full-on expansion, but this apparently is. This is much more like that. I guess the beautiful idea of like life and death, where, you know, they had this entire game pack, like more than just a game pack. It was an entire expansion, and I think that they did well. I think, of course, it's a lot more expensive, but we're also getting more than just fairies. We're getting, you know, worlds. We're getting, you know, a lot of things. I'm gonna go into that right now. So I'm gonna look at those things. See, we are like I said before, we're getting a world. Basically, we're getting a new world. We get like the coast of Admore, which is more of a pleasure-seeking place where people can just enjoy themselves, right? We have Spruceberry Grove, which is more like a shopping area, but also residential. So it's like more or less like the place where you want to live. Most likely, I think it's this picture on the right, but I'm on the left, but I'm not sure really if that's actually the case, because it's really vague. I don't get it from the descriptions, honestly. But yeah, I'm and then we of course have the last thing that's like Everdew, which is a magical forest, and that's where all the fairies live mostly, and which is really just like a woodland, and it sounds so amazing. It sounds so nice to me that they are added this in. And in those particular things, there are like new skills that we have. So basically, in terms of traits, we have the nature nomad trait, I think, or like the journey to it, and that will give you more things. And you will be able to create like remedies and a little bit of a potions, I think, with the apothecary table, right? Where, you know, it's just really proper and really nice. I'm gonna quickly turn down the music a little bit because I feel like it's too loud now. There we go. Just a little bit less, say. It's sad that it's now also the ending of that song, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so basically, yeah, it feels like you can really just get those skills in. You know, you have the apothecary skill, and there's more. There's another one which I will talk to you about soon. Actually, I'm gonna talk to you about it right now. There is this natural living skill, basically, and you'll I think it just makes sure that you get like better at living from the land. I am not really certain. I feel like this is just like a bit of a giving back to the community about like all the the challenges that are be put on YouTube, but also the way people play The Sims nowadays, where they are like, okay, we're gonna go from nothing to like this rich thing. So I really enjoy this. It looks amazing, and I believe that there's just so much things going on. And of course, how everything will work out, it's gonna be something different. But that's something that I'm not gonna discuss right now. Whether I think it's balanced or not, I think it's nice. You know, I think it is nice. But to further delve deep into it, no, I think that's not the video about this. This is not the video about that. But yeah, you can become like an elixir enthusiast, a nature nomad, and it's just so great that they give these extra things. I believe there's actually even a third aspiration. I'm not 100% certain what that would be, but I'm pretty sure that I just glanced over it. And then of course we have another mechanic. This will probably be something that is like much more or less a little bit like, you know, the love expansion pack, where, you know, it's just redesigning some parts of how the Sims work, and part of that is balance. It's all in a balance, as they say. It's all in a balance. And basically what I understand is that there are going to be like, you have like this balance thing where you want to become more balanced, and sometimes you get more imbalanced and life can be harder and all that kind of stuff. You'll get ailments. We saw in the trailer, you get like all these sort of ailments where you suddenly are creative, or you have money on the brain or stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, it's a really like a little bit more of the deepening basically that Sims has been doing, where they start to make sure that there's more like something to the Sims 4 as just a very surface level simulator with, you know, the love struck pack and with life and death. And I think this will add to that. I think they are really adding more into the feeling of what your sim is dealing with. And I can only applaud it. Honestly, I like it. I think it's really amazing, actually. It's one of the reasons that I bought the pack. Of course, you know, the fairies and the whole nature thing is great, you know. But like the deepening that The Sims 4 is doing, I truly can only applaud, because I feel like that's the only way that they can create this franchise or keep this Sims 4 going, or The Sims going, as like this place that can be competitive with other upcoming or already released you know, live Sims. So I think this is really good. I think it's a great way that they're doing. I'm not going too deep into it. I believe it has a lot to do with also just how things go, how you behave. But I feel like we have to figure this out as we go when we are there. And there's one elephant in the room that we have to talk about, and that is the early purchase incentive. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not too happy about this. I wish that it would be... I wish it wasn't the case, right? I mean, I understand that they want to make an incentive. I'm happy that I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford getting it in the incentive time. But I feel like it's just a way of just... It feels like a cash grab to me, right? And it's sad, because honestly, I think the pack, as I said before, it kind of speaks for itself. I feel like, you know, it is really something that is just speaking for itself. I'm unhappy with the textures of the wood, but the rest of it is all so magical and beautiful, and I want to have it, you know. And I didn't need this incentive because what I like, everything that we just went over from the skill trees, or from the skills to the traits, from fairy dust to all the customization options, and the whole balance mechanic and deepening The Sims 4. I feel like we didn't need this incentive. I feel like, yes, of course, the pack is expensive and it warrants something in return, but I feel like a early purchasing incentive is not the way to go. That being said, I have bought it like directly, and like I said, I didn't do this for the incentive. But yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of a cash grab, and I think, yeah, that's like basically all we have to talk about today, guys, because this is all we have. I believe that there's more information coming on the 26th of June. And on the 10th of July, we'll be actually able to play it. So I hope you guys will join me back when I talk about the 26th gameplay trailer, probably. Of course, I hope you guys join me for my new series when we start that in the 10th of July. And I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye!